Okay, I have to apologize. Again, I forgot to start the camera when we put the hatch on. So it was a relatively simple procedure, but it took three of us to do it. So we had one person on either side of the hatch and one person controlling the hinge. So this is what it looks like with the hatch on. So hatch is all on. The hinge is in place. Let me show you what that looks like. So when we lifted it up here, we had two of us, one on each side of the hatch lifting it up here, and one person on a ladder here controlling this hinge. I had taken butyl tape and I had put butyl tape along, not on the hinge but on the teardrop itself, covering the screw holes and going over the edge a little bit. So when we got it up here, they flipped the hinge down, we pushed it into place, and I put the screws in. So pretty straightforward, but again, I apologize for not turning the camera on. We just got in the moment and decided to lift it, and I forgot to turn it on. But so that's how she looks. I've also removed the plastic off of the side of the teardrop. I've put the porch lights in place. So those are done, and they come on with no problems. So. And so I am nearing completion, so which is very exciting to me. But also put license plate on, and the license plate light. Okay, we needed to come up with some way to support the hatch, and for right now I'm not putting gas or air assist springs on the hatch to help me open it. I probably will at some point, but right now I'm not going to do that, just because I haven't had time to engineer it, and we want to use the teardrop here. So anyway, so we came up with a hatch support, and it looks like this. So let me show you one that hasn't been attached or hasn't started to be attached. So this is an oak block, and I've got a reverse bevel right here. And I have to give a shout out to my dad. He's the one that thought of this. I was thinking of doing something similar, but that reverse bevel is definitely a stroke of genius. So anyway, this goes up against the side, and then there's I think this is the one. I think there's a lid support that goes in. You can see that there's a matching bevel. So let me put the camera down and I'll show you how that works. Okay. So so here's the bottom of the hatch support, and here's the top of it. So up here you can see what it does. It just fits into this little slot like that. And then down here on the bottom, this fits there. So there's no way that the bottom of the support can come out because you've got that bevel in there. And so for putting this all together is when we get to the campsite, I'll hold the hatch up, and then my wife can just drop these in. This helps guide it and whatnot, and then the hatch just drops down on the hatch support. Made these out of oak, so they should be plenty strong. They'll be put in with some pretty stout screws. So I think that they're going to be plenty strong, but we'll get those in here in just a second. So this is what it looks like with them in. So you can see this is dropped down into the slot here. That bevel goes that way, and so it forces the support into the wall here, getting a little bit of extra support as it rests on the gusset, and it sits in the notch right up here. So I think that's going to be plenty strong, and so we'll go on to the next part. I also want to show you what the hatch looks like when it's open. So put the camera down here. So like I said, I will probably put gas lifts on this at some point because it is kind of heavy. I'm not certain my wife could open it by herself, but I can certainly do it. But I just open it up like this. Drop the supports into place, and this is the part where it's just a little inconvenient to do it this way, but for right now it's going to work fine. So there's the hatch in place. Then all of these things slide out. galley. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the countertops for in here, and then there's a couple more odds and ends, and this thing is going to be ready to camp, and I can't wait. Okay, one of the things I forgot to show you was I put draw latches on, and the main reason I used the draw latches is I had a hard time with this Frederick seal, figuring out where to put the kind that has the rods that push into the side. There was no place where I could hide it inside of the lid here, inside of the hatch, to put the rods to close it, to seal it. The other type of latch that typically you see on hatches is a slam latch, and a slam latch just has a tongue that goes in here like this. Well, I've got such a shallow angle that I'm approaching this this countertop area and I was afraid that it wasn't going to hold, and I don't think it would have. So so I use these draw latches, and I think they look okay. So I'll show you how they work. So there we go, just like that. And it draws it down on the seal, and then there'll be a padlock that goes right there. So works okay, and I think it looks okay too. It looks a little bit like an industrial freezer, but that's okay. I would much rather it seal than be going down the road and when the teardrop flexes a little bit, pops open. So I think that's a good positive lock. And there's one like this on the other side. Okay, it's time to put in this cable clamp. This is for my trailer lights, where it passes through the front of the teardrop. And I pre-drilled it, and I will go ahead and put this, this one part on. Well, let me show you the way this works. So this is what goes up against the teardrop, okay? And then you have another piece here that has a rubber insert. And what I'll do is I'll take this rubber insert out and I'll put a slit in it. And that's what will go around the wires here. And then when I screw these things together, it presses that slit closed and should seal those wires. So this is a marine item. It's made by Blue Sea, and it's called a cable clamp. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Thread this up here. It comes with all the connectors that you need, all the fasteners. So this is kind of a soft rubber washer that goes behind it. Soft rubber seal. Let's get some of these started a little bit. Okay, so that's what it looks like all screwed on. So that's good and tight. That should be very, very tight, I think, and good and flush, so that will be sealed there. So now what I'll do is I'm going to pop out this little rubber piece here. I'll cut a slit in it, and then we'll put the rest of this in. Alright, so hopefully you can see this. So I've got a little bit cut out for the wires to go through, and then I put a slit in it. You see, like that. So what I do is I put this over there, over the wires, run it up here snug, and this is kind of like a cork. It's tapered, and then this nylon piece here goes up against it, and it also has a tapered ring in it. So I put that over that, like that. And then when I put the screws in, it draws it all together and seals it. Just that's what it's supposed to do. So I'll go ahead and put the screws in, and we'll come back and take a look. Okay, so there it's all together, and you can see it pulled down flush. I don't know if you can see it very well, but that's where the wires come through, and so that should be pretty well sealed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some plastic sheath around these wires, and then run them through the trailer frame up to the front. So here I put some split tubing on the wires, ran it in here. So this is what we got. That just makes kind of a neat package, and so that part is done. Finishing up the galley, just a couple of things here. First thing I did is I put this trim strip right here, and that's just the same stuff that I used on the edges here. And then the second thing is I made some countertops. Now, I don't know whether these are going to be permanent or temporary. They're not hinged, but basically just used a pre-laminated panel that I got from one of the big box stores. Took my dado blade and dadoed out the edges, and relieved this edge here, and then just took my router and rolled the edge like that, and so I've got countertops. So we'll see how these work, and I just polyurethane them, and we'll see how they work, and if we like them, we'll keep them. I'll put some hinges on them, and we should be good to go. Alright, so we're about ready to go camping.